Hello, my soul family. How are you all? Hope you are doing great, happy, and healthy. So, before getting into the video, I want you all to like, share, and subscribe to my channel, which would help me with the YouTube algorithm by which I can reach to as many people as I can. Because every new information, every new authentic new information which you are receiving will help you raise your consciousness, will help you raise your vibration, will help with your DNA activation. So, every new information will indeed help you with raising your own consciousness, your own vibrational level, will help you increase your own frequencies. So many people might be searching for right, authentic, correct information, but because there are so many people who are doing so many things on YouTube, they are teaching so many things, irrespective of how much knowledge they have or not, irrespective of if their own self are understanding it or not, irrespective of if they are experiencing it or not. So there are many people who are teaching so many things, but then every correct information might help somebody. So every correct information might change somebody else's life. So it's my sincere request for you to help me with the algorithm to reach to share this knowledge and information with as many people as you can, so that only if you resonate with it. Okay, I'm not asking you to forcefully do this. If you're resonating with the content which I'm providing, if you're resonating, if you're feeling that whatever I'm speaking is right, then share it with others. Okay, and try to understand it, try to implement these things in your life, because most of the things here, most of the content which I'm providing, I'm speaking with it out with because of my own experience or because of my own life lessons and learnings. Okay, so this is what I wanted to say, and now let's get into the video. Dark night of soul, void, and the bliss states. Kundalini awakening itself is a death and rebirth kind of process. It's a cyclic process where you'll constantly be changing yourself. You will undergo lots of death process. Death doesn't mean that it's a physical death. Death means that energetic death. Whatever is not serving you, you leave all that, and just like a snake, you'll shed all your skin and you'll get into the new skin, and you'll get into a new birth. You'll rebirth, and you'll be somebody else now. All your ego collapses, and you'll be a different, during your death phase, and you'll be a completely different person in your rebirth phase. And this process of death and rebirth happens during that dark night of soul phase, where you'll go through that intense shedding of everything which doesn't serve you, be it people or the illusions or the knowledge which doesn't serve you anymore. Sometimes you might have thought that some things or some beliefs might be right till that point, and then you'll shed all those beliefs, you'll collapse all the things which you have learned. You'll unlearn everything which you have learned, and you'll shed all that old layers, and then you will birth something new. Now you'll break your illusion, and you'll birth some new knowledge, some new thing will come out of you. You'll be a new person, not completely new, but you'll see things from a different point of view, from a different perspective. You'll change your drishti. Okay, drishti means your perception, your point of view about few things might enhance. Like, before your dark night of soul phase, you might be thinking about certain things in a certain way, but then when you go through that death process, when you shed all the layers, and then when you're rebirthed again, you'll see the same thing in a new perspective, from a new point of view, from a new perception, and from a new angle. Okay, you'll think out of the box. So when this dark night of phase happens, you'll shed everything which doesn't which is not serving you, everything which got accumulated. All the densities will dissolve, all the densities will collapse. You will be collapsing all the dead skin, dead layers. Okay, dead layers, or in your body also. Every time we cleanse a physical body, right, we'll shed all the dead layers, dead skin, dead cells which doesn't serve. Right, we have in our own body, in our own physical body, we have the processes called apoptosis and all these things, and in those processes we'll shed all the death. It's a death process. Okay, every time you sell your internal cell, your physiology, your human physiology also has certain things where your cell undergoes a constant death phase. In that death phase, it secretes all, it removes all the death layer, all the dead skin, okay. It collapses everything, and again a new cell is formed, okay. Every cell in our body also have a certain lifespan, and after that lifespan it sheds itself, okay. It undergoes lysis, and a new cell is born, and a new you is born. It happens at a physiological level, at energetic level, and also in the cellular level. If you go through Kundalini awakening, when your Kundalini awakens, in the energy, it is a physiological process, happens in every human on the planet, right? So when you awaken your Kundalini, this energetic process also happens. Your mind cleanses everything which doesn't serve you, okay. So there is a lots of cleansing process, there's a lot of purging process which will be happening. And during the dark night of soul, everything which is not serving you, all the toxins will come onto the surface for cleansing, okay. So that was that happens during dark night of soul. And after the dark night of soul, after the death process, the ego death process, the energetic death process, okay, the illusion death process, okay. When that happens during dark night of soul, and you will enter into a phase called a void phase. In that void phase, what happens is, in that void phase, you will be completely blank. You will not understand, you will be you will not understand now which step to take, what is the next process. This void phase is for a very less time, time. And this dark night of soul process is for a huge time, like it takes a lot of time. And this void process is a short time span between the dark night of soul and the bliss phase, okay. So this void phase which you will be at, and during this void phase, it will be like you will not have any clue. You will not understand which step to take now, what to do next. You'll be still like in a little bit of a confusion phase, where you will be like, you'll be completely blank. You'll not know what to do next, okay. You have purged out a lot of things, you have gone through a death and ego process, and now in this void phase, you'll be completely blank. Your mind will be completely, like, you will be in a paused phase, okay. Everything will be paused energetically, and everything like will be paused. And whatever you have it is like a time gap. It is a time gap for you to process all the things which have shed already. It is a time gap for you to think and process and digest that information. It is a process for you to heal and repair, okay. During that void phase, you'll heal and repair what is. Now you are making space in that void space, you are making space for new things to come. Like in the dark night of soul, you have shed all the layers, all the dead skin, all the dead cells which are not serving you. All the people you have left, people might have left you. Like, you are making space, you are literally making space for new things to come. You are trying to heal the things, you are trying to fill those gaps where the dead skin have gone, okay. Now the dead skin has gone, and now there is a gap, now there is a void. And you will be in a phase like you will repair all that void, you will repair all those gaps, so that the new energy can come and accumulate in those in that pot, in that gap, okay. So this void phase will be for a short while, and where you will be completely blank, and where you will give yourself for time and permission and love and compassion and you will give that healing process. You will let that healing process take place. You will surrender to things, because even if you want to do something else, even if you want to figure out things, you won't be able to figure out things during that void phase, because it is void phase, okay. In that void phase is itself for a time gap for you to integrate things, for you to process things, for you to digest things, for you to repair and heal, okay. After this void phase comes the bliss phase. And during the bliss phase you will connect with the divine more. Before, in the dark night of soul, you will, even if divine is trying to give you any clues, you might be not in a position to decode those things properly. But during the bliss phase, what happens is, you will decode everything properly. Whatever has happened to you in your dark night of soul, whatever questions you had in your dark night of soul, you will get the answers in those bliss phase. And you will be in a very high vibration, and you will try to accumulate things, try to whatever knowledge. By the way, during the dark night of soul, you'll accumulate lots and lots of knowledge. In my case, I have accumulated a lot of knowledge during my dark night of soul phase only. Whenever I go through a dark night of soul, it's just not the dark night of soul, it's just not the shedding those old layers and collapsing your ego, but it is also a phase of learning, okay. I learned lots and lots of things during my dark night of soul period, be it having knowledge about astrology, be it watching some high vibrational divine movies which can guide me through to certain certain zones, so certain dimensions, okay, where which I wasn't able to explore. And during that dark night of soul phase only, I've learned so many things, I've read so many books, and I have watched, I will, every time whenever my dark night of soul comes, I try to learn so much. I accumulate a lot of knowledge during dark night of soul. And by the way, I won't do this consciously, I didn't even know that I was doing all these things. But then after so many dark night of souls now, after so many cycles of death and rebirth process, and after too much of awakening and activations, now I am able to integrate all these things, that whenever I'm going through dark night of soul, I'm learning so many new things, I'm figuring out so many new things, I'm accumulating so much knowledge. I'm like receiving so many things, and developing my knowledge, my skills, and my understanding during that phase. And dark night of soul is not something which is bad, it is like, it is a necessary process, it is needed, like it is very much important, and it is needed for you to shed everything which is not serving you. And also the void phase will give you that gap, and then you will learn certain things, you will accumulate so many things, whatever you have learned in the dark night of soul phase, you will try to integrate those things during your void phase, okay. During that void phase, you, whatever you have learned, whatever YouTube videos you have watched, whatever books you have read, whatever you're understanding from your soul family, or be it from your family, by whomever you are mirroring, okay, for whomever is mirroring you during your dark night of soul, you'll feel very much frustrated and angry. But then you will understand that, okay, because of this reason these people are mirroring me, okay, for this reason these people wanted me to understand these things, these people are mirroring me because of this issue, okay. You will figure out all these things, and you will learn so much during your dark night of soul, be it through mirroring, or be it through YouTube channels, or be it through your somebody is triggering you, be it to your own mind, which has been very negative. Because of all these things, you will try to figure out how to be positive. But during your dark night of soul, maybe you have experienced that negativity, and then you will understand, you will try to find solutions to the how you can be more positive, how you can heal that mirroring, how you can heal that triggering, what steps you can take, what actions you can take next time, how you can be, so that you can heal that mirror, and you can end that cycle, and you can collapse those ego layers, and how you can be a better version of yourself. You will think all these things during your dark night of soul. So there is a lots and lots of learning thing which will happen during your dark night of soul, and that is why I told it is a very, very, very important phase. So if you're going through dark night of soul, don't just sit and cry, okay. Crying happens, soul purging happens, okay. Cry and let it go, let it all out, so that you'll feel little lighter. But then you should also learn and understand, you should also find questions to your answers, which what I did in my dark night of soul. My awakening was very intense, and only in a short span I had to learn so many things, and it was very stressful, it was very difficult and tough. But then I had done it, so you can also do it, okay. So motivate yourself, try to do it. And when I did all these things, I had nobody with me, and I had to live myself all alone by myself. Physically I did not have anyone, but then energetically, all my guardians, spirit guides, animal spirit guides, divine was there with me, constantly supporting, okay. So all my unseen friends are there with me. But then physically I did not have, like in the 3D world, I did not have anyone, and then I had to do it all by myself. And it also gave me, now I feel that whatever has happened, it had happened in a very beautiful way, because I had that space, I had that gap. If I had so many people in my life during that phase, I wouldn't have figured out all those things which I did figured out now, okay. So it was all a divine plan. And now I during that phase I used to cry a lot, that I'm all I'm isolated, and I know that I was isolated. But then I did not feel that loneliness. I felt like sorry, there was a sound, okay. I felt I was in complete solitude mode, okay. I was grasping so much knowledge, I was accumulating so many things, I was so busy. So more than being lonely, I was in a solitude mode. And it did not bother me much that there were no people in my life, but I was completely focused on how to heal myself, how to treat myself. Okay, in physical world also I focus so much on medical stuff, and I focus so much on how to treat the patients and all these things, right? So I was being my own patient, and I was being my own doctor, my own soul doctor. So during that phase, I was, I was trying to figure out how to heal myself, how to treat myself, how to make myself a better version of my a better version. Okay, so how can I heal my own relationships, how can I heal my mind? So I was thinking all these things, I was figuring out so many things, I was reading so many books, I was listening to so many YouTube channels. But then I had my own personal discernment. I used to, take the knowledge, whatever is needed, I'll take only that thing from anybody. Okay, whatever YouTube video also I'm listening, I'll listen to them, but at the end of the day, I'll figure out that, yeah, I have this ability to figure out that what is right and what is not wrong. Okay, during your initial phases of your awakening, you need YouTube channels, you need certain books, so that you can have a basic foundation level of understanding that of what it is. Because you are a star seed, an indigo, or you're a rainbow child, or you're a crystal child, if you are that, you already have so much knowledge within you, which just just needs to unlock. Okay, after the unlock phase, you will have your own knowledge, and nobody you know no don't need too many people to come and tell you what to come and pour that knowledge onto you, because you are a bundle of knowledge. You are the entire cosmology, the entire cosmic book is within you. Okay, but then during those initial phases, you need people, you need some outside knowledge, you need certain things to be decoded at the basic level, so that you can you can enter this awakening phase. And after your awakening, when you go to the when you're in the initial phases of awakening, you're still in that phases of unlocking things. You are not yet unlocked completely, right? So because you're not like yet unlocked, to make yourself unlocked, to make yourself open to activate your own self, you need the external knowledge. So that's why I was the basic things I was learning from people. Okay, but then after that, I had built my own foundation, and after that I started understanding things all by myself. So now also it's not like completely I'm understanding, I'm a superhero, superwoman, I know everything. It's not like that. I'm still learning, but I'm still open to the people who can teach me certain things. Okay, so I am still learning from so many channels and so many books and different things. And I always learn from different, be it even a small child. Even from a small child, you have so many things to learn. Okay, so how a child is always smiling, how they are bindas, how they have that open attitude, how they are always learning. So everybody in the world is your teacher. I from my childhood only, I have this habit of learning from everybody, taking motivation from everybody, whatever they might be. So I'll only take the good qualities from them. Okay, so I'll take motivation from everything and everybody, every book, every YouTube channel, every YouTube video. So whatever is needed for me, I'll take that, and I'll let go the rest. I'm that kind of a person. So and now also even after yes, you have your own knowledge, you can understand certain things by yourself because of your past lives or past activations or whatever it is. But I'm also learning new things. I'm also developing my own skills. I'm also developing my own knowledge. I'm constantly improvising myself by learning from so many people. So during your dark night of soul, there is lots of learning which happens. And during that void phase, you'll make space for things to you'll let go of certain things, so that you can make space for that new knowledge which you have learned, which you will integrate in your bliss phase. And you will feel happy that yes, you have decoded some things. Yes, you're going in a right path. Yes, now you're connected to divine. Yes, you're feeling high vibrational. Yes, you are decoding things properly. And during that bliss phase, you will also enjoy certain experiences, certain beautiful things which you will see in your meditations or visions or dreams. Okay, during your dark night of soul also, you will have dreams and visions and all these things, but you will be still in a phase of decoding that. But during the bliss phase, what happens is, you'll decode that, and you'll feel that okay, this dream means this thing. Okay, you'll have a complete picture, complete plan of what divine wants to tell you. Okay, what your higher self is telling you, is trying to tell you. So you will figure out all these things, and it's just not the phases. Okay, in 1 year you have gone through, in some months you have gone through dark night of soul and then void, and some months void, some months is bliss. It doesn't happen like that. Every month it is happening. every month. You start observing by yourself that every month you are going through these phases, but this is a shorter, very minute, these are the subtle versions of the dark night of soul and void and the bliss phases, because these are subtle. You don't recognize them, you don't understand them, and you cannot figure out that every month these things is happening. Every month you're going through death and rebirth phase, but it is in a very subtle and a minute level that you won't be able to observe it, you won't be able to catch it, okay? But because it is happening in a very more subtle level, and it requires a lot of observation and understanding to observe this to figure out this, to decode this. But then you will in major dark night of souls which happened, you were able to figure out those things because it was happening at a major level and for a longer period of time. Because they were happening for a longer period of time, you were able to differentiate them, you were able to decode them, that this was dark night of soul, this was void, and this was bliss. But this thing happens every month, every year, since the time you have started awakening. It is happening every day even, okay? Every sometimes whatever the dream you have gotten, and for you will try to question it, and you will go into the void phase, that the gap phase, where you will be completely blank, and then you will have that bliss phase, okay? So dark night of soul is like questions, and void is like the blank, and then the bliss is like the answers, okay? So every time it is happening, but it is happening in a very subtle and a minute level that you did not even recognize it, okay? It will pass through you just like a blink of an eye. But then you have figured out the major part of it because of the Kundalini awakening, because during the initial phase you have experienced it for a longer period of time. That's why you were able to recognize it. But it is happening every month, every year, and this is the constant death and rebirth process. This is a constant awakening just doesn't end for few years, and you had awakened for at some year, and now you are in a complete bliss state, and now you have stopped your learning. It doesn't happen that way. It's a lifelong process, it's a continuous process. Continuously you will go through your activations, continuously you'll go through awakening, continuously you'll go through death and rebirth process, but it won't be that painful as your initial ones, okay? This is like now you'll be used to it, now you'll know how to handle these things, now you'll be able to figure out even the subtle dark night of souls, now you'll be able to figure out the subtle and minute things also, minute phases of dark night of soul, void, and blisses also, because now you're used to it, now you're a master of it, now you'll be able to catch it, now you'll be able to understand, okay, now you're going through this, you know how to handle this, and you'll handle it, okay? Now you will understand it much betterly compared to your initial ones. Now you have the capability, power, and high vibration to deal with it. You have mastered it. Before you were going through dark arts of mastery, okay, in the initial phases, but now you will know, now you have become the light, and you will know how to deal with these things, how to handle these things. So this is a constant process of death and rebirth, and let it happen. Even if you doesn't like it, if you like it or not, it doesn't matter, because now your Kundalini is awakened. Right now your Kundalini will take charge of it. So you just have to surrender to the process. You just have to let the process happen. You don't have to become the obstacle in your own path. Get out of the way and let the Kundalini work through you. Let the Kundalini work through you, heal you, cleanse you, okay, and make you feel blissful, okay? Let it happen, and you will enjoy the process. You will enjoy that ride, okay? Be a star rider, okay? Be a voyager, and let this process happen. Enjoy this beautiful process, because initially you don't know many things, and you don't know what is happening, right? You were still in the phase of figuring it out. Now you know so many things, now you have come so far. So enjoy this phase and enjoy it, do it very beautifully, okay? Happily, lovingly, put a smile on your face, and smilingly you have to get through all these phases, okay? You can get it, okay? Now you have cried enough. Now you for in my case, now I have cried a lot during my initial phases for like 3-4 years. Now I don't even have tears anymore. So like I just smile at the things which are happening, and I let them happen, and I'll just try to deal with them. I just try to heal, and I just try to fix things. I'll just try to integrate things, fix things. And now I'm in a kind of a surrender mode. Like I have the first thing which I have learned in my journey was surrender. Before, it was very hard for me to surrender to things, to surrender to the divine mother, the cosmic mother, Kundalini. Now I'm in that phase that, okay, and now I have developed enough trust and surrender that, and hope that, okay, okay, things will be all right, I'm not going anywhere, whatever is happening, it's happening for my good. So now I have developed that faith, that love, that surrender with the divine, that connection with the divine, that now I know that I can get through it. Okay, before also I have gotten through so many things, before also the things were tough and I have got over those things. Now also I'll be able to get over certain things. So you will build that confidence, that love, that connection, that bliss, that faith, that surrender with the divine. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you all should experience the divine union, the alchemical union within you, the inner union within you. And I hope you should all, every one of us should be very much connected to our cosmic mother, Adiparashakti, to the divine mother. And we should all, everyone, each one of us should feel her divine love, okay, which is already there within us. We should just need to unlock it. Okay, I hope we all will unlock it, and I hope will all reach to a state of unconditional love, bliss and happiness. Thank you so much for tuning in.